Again, to the left circle. Again, left shot. Joseph save. Rebound. He scores! Yeah, baby!
The voice of the Calgary Flames passes away.
Peter Maher got along with absolutely everybody at the arena. Like, there wasn't anybody who didn't like Peter.
Remembering Peter Maher after more than 3 decades in the Flames broadcast booth. Plus changes to make some of the city's storm ponds safer.
Every day you keep thinking about her, and then we just live close to the pond. Mostly every day you pass by there and the memories are coming back.
The family of a little girl who drowned in a southeast pond last month weighs in on the measures. And he won $125,000 until he didn't.
Did I go from an ultimate high to an ultimate low?
The 50-50 fine print denying this Calgarian a big jackpot.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. A major figure in Calgary's sports community has passed away. Peter Maher was the original voice of the Calgary Flames on radio. He's being celebrated tonight by the team, by his media colleagues, and by fans. Glenn Campbell has more.
Again, to the left circle. Again, left shot. Joseph save. Rebound. He scores! Yeah, baby!
Peter Maher was named the first ever radio voice of the Calgary Flames in 1980.
Side of that, there's a shot. Scores!
He would go on to call games for 33 straight seasons. The highlights included the 1989 Stanley Cup Championship and the 2004 Stanley Cup run. Sadly, the longtime voice of the Flames has passed away at 79. Colin Patterson played on that Stanley Cup winning team and says it's a sad day.
It is a tough one. I mean, Peter Maher was such a great guy, beloved by everybody, like players and fans, management, whoever you talk to, people loved him.
Patterson has many fond memories of Peter Maher, but one will always stand out.
Yeah, I think, just for in the 89, the yeah, baby. That really sticks out when he, when we won, he was yeah, baby, yeah, baby.
The Calgary Flames have won the Stanley Cup. We're the winners. We're the winners. Yeah, baby, yeah, baby, yeah, baby.
Maher was also beloved and respected by his fellow media members. That's why 13 years ago when he retired, the media started an award in his name, the Peter Maher Good Guy Award.
Sincerity, integrity, dedication, and respect. Those are the 4 key words. And it was handed out to the player who was the most beloved in the room by the media. And it was symbolic of the fact that Peter was beloved by all of his brethren inside the room and all of the media members. So, it was very appropriate that we had an award in his name.
Hearing about the passing of Peter Maher was a tough blow to many Calgarians.
I grew up with Peter Maher. I used to listen to the radio all the time as a kid, going to bed, so it's a huge blow to the Calgary community and condolences to his family.
Super sad. Just hearing him on the air for a long time growing up in Calgary. So, yeah, not much to say other than just, thoughts to his family.
The community's lost a beloved person. He'll be missed.
Oh, that's a nice tribute, Glenn. You worked with Peter a long time, too, so what are your memories?
Tara, what a voice, and I did grow up listening to Peter Maher. I remember the first time I went down to the Dome to cover the Flames. I saw Peter there and felt a little intimidated. I mean, he was the legend, but he was very welcoming, put me at ease. And as we heard throughout that story, you really could not meet a nicer person. Now, for its part, the Flames organization say Peter's legacy extends well beyond the broadcast booth. He was a passionate ambassador for the Calgary Flames, a devoted member of the community, and a person whose warmth, generosity, and love for the game touched countless lives. Tara?
All right, Glenn, thank you. The city of Calgary is taking steps to make storm ponds safer. The move comes just a month after a 7-year-old autistic girl drowned in a pond in the community of Legacy. Her family called for stronger safety measures, and the pond where she died is now on the list for improvements. Tyson Fedor reports.
July 12th was a heartbreaking day for Driana Matsumona's family as the 7-year-old nonverbal autistic girl ran from her home and drowned in the stormwater pond in Legacy.
Every day you keep thinking about her, and then we just live close to the pond. So mostly every day you pass by there and the memories are coming back.
But that pond and a larger one next to it are part of the city's 15 storm ponds that will see enhanced safety measures rolled out this month. Other communities on the list include Mahogany, Auburn Bay, New Brighton, Copperfield, Saddle Ridge, and Ellingston Park.
Enhanced vegetation, specifically prickly, thorny vegetation that creates a bit of a physical barrier to show people that it's not a good idea to go through it to the storm pond. We'll also be using some fencing with vertical slats.
The city will also be replacing old caution signage and installing new interpretive signage. It's work the city says has been planned for years as it prioritizes public safety.
It's good if they can build like a fence, but whichever they're going to do there, as long as it will avoid the kids to going to the pond, that's at least good.
Some of the waterways will see temporary fencing in the winter to deter residents from walking on the ice. Driana's family says the pain of her death is still very real, but hopes these new measures can at least save someone else's life.
It can save lives too. And then Legacy, it's a very young community, and we have a lot of young couple there with young kids.
Driana's aunt, Gloria Masango, says she believes that there were enhanced safety measures the day her niece went missing. It could have prevented her death.
That's what we wanted. We wanted something to prevent accident happening. So the fact that the city is doing that is definitely going to help parents out there.
And Tyson joins us from Legacy tonight. So Tyson, how were these particular ponds chosen for improvements?
Well, Tara, there's more than 300 of these stormwater ponds across the city. These specific 15 were deemed highest priority by the city following a thorough review of all of those storm ponds. Now, ongoing assessments at a lot of these ponds will determine whether or not others will have more safety enhancements in the future. Again, tonight, the city is reminding all residents to stay off stormwater ponds throughout the summer and in the winter when the ice forms. Tara?
Okay, Tyson, thank you. A blue-green algae advisory has been issued for Lake Sundance in the city's southeast. Alberta Health Services says residents living along the shores of the lake and visitors should not swim or wade where the algae blooms are visible, and to avoid all contact if it washes up on shore. Algae exposure can also be fatal for pets. If skin contact is made, wash with clean water immediately. If it's ingested and symptoms like nausea and vomiting develop, contact HealthLink at 811. AHS says areas of Lake Sundance where blue algae is not visible remains safe to use. Rescue teams were on the Bow River this morning to check out a pickup truck that was driven deep into the water. Someone spotted the vehicle near the Zoo Bridge at about 6:30. Crews rushed to the scene just in case someone needed rescued, but the vehicle was empty. They later found a person believed to be the driver on a nearby island. That person was not hurt, but it's not clear what happened. Piles of trash continue popping up where they aren't supposed to be. While the city works to crack down on illegal dumping, some communities are fed up. Alicia Fieldberg joins us from Saddle Ridge. Alicia, there's a lot of different things in those piles.
Tara, there's a few mattresses, some building materials, some clothes. The nearest landfill is about a 30-minute drive away from here. But before it got all wet and dirty, a lot of the bigger items looked like they might have been able to been donated to a charity. And a lot of the smaller items, like food containers, look like they could have just ended up in the garbage. Instead, they're piling up here, and people in this area are not happy.
Furniture, TVs, everything except and even kitchen sinks.
Sofas, suitcases, shoes, and more lie in heaps and scattered along the edges of new developments in Saddle Ridge. And people living nearby are sick of it.
It's quite odd. I don't know why people do this. Whenever I go for a walk, I saw this garbage dump over on this side and even on the other side.
The junk left here illegally isn't just an eyesore. You can smell it, too.
When it rains, you can't just pass from there. It's too stinky. like these days, it's stinky now.
The city of Calgary says it takes illegal dumping seriously because it creates safety hazards, can attract pests, impacts the environment and wildlife, and results in cleanup costs. The city says it's a growing concern, especially near a vacant lot or open land and developing neighborhoods because they're less visible and harder to monitor. Charlie Simpson agrees. He works for one of the developers and says stuff just starts showing up.
We don't know who does it. They just do it when nobody's watching. The city would have to sit here day and night to catch them. But ultimately, they come and tell the developer to clean it up, which has happened a couple times.
He said they cleaned a bunch of junk up in the fall and again in the spring, and it impacts the neighborhood they're nearly finished building.
But you can't keep up. Like the stuff behind us here, that's pretty close to where people will be moving in, and a lot of people already have moved in.
Including Daljit Singh, who urges people to take responsibility for their trash.
Go to the dumping ground and dump over there. Don't dump it over here so that we don't get bacteria and get infections to our kids and everything.
This year, the city started a public awareness campaign and installed signs to problem areas. It encourages anyone who sees illegal dumping to take photos or videos and report it to 311.
Couldn't bear to live with myself if I knew I did something like this. I take my garbage to the dump, pay my $25.
It's a much smaller price than the potential fines of up to $10,000 you can face if you're caught illegally dumping. Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
Now, the city uses peace officers and cameras to help identify offenders, but the biggest tool is information provided through 311 reports. So if you see junk left in your neighborhood, let the city know right away. If possible, try to get a license plate number and take photos or videos.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
A Calgary man thought he hit it big after winning the Calgary Stampede 50-50 draw, only to be told he didn't claim his winnings in time. But as Moses Woldu reports, Curtis Geiger says he's fighting back in the name of fairness.
The emotions Curtis Geiger has gone through this week is akin to a roller coaster ride.
I go from an ultimate high to an ultimate low. I haven't really slept a lot in the last few days.
It all began when Geiger purchased a 50-50 ticket during the Stampede Rodeo right before leaving for an overseas trip. He scanned a QR code on the ticket and viewed the prize rules on the Stampede 50-50 website.
In the prize claim process, it says that we may claim the prize in 48 hours. So when I read that, I assumed that I have more time than 48 hours.
After a few weeks, Geiger went on the site and discovered that he had won over $125,000. But when he tried to claim the prize, there was a problem.
There's a small little rules button that I found out that was explained to me, and I click on that. And then if you click on there, then it says you must claim it in 48 hours.
In a statement to CTV News, the Calgary Stampede say in part, "We understand this is a disappointing situation for the individual involved." In this instance, the winning ticket holder contacted Calgary Stampede Lotteries after the 48-hour claim period had expired, and the prize therefore could not be awarded. But Geiger argues there's nothing on the site or on his ticket clearly stating that he must claim within 48 hours.
I don't understand why the language is different there than what it is on the main page.
One lawyer in Calgary says that it's paramount to read the lottery rules carefully and stick within the claim requirements. However, if they are vague, that could lead to litigation.
I do not consider this to be bad actors. Mistakes happen. It could have been different on the website. It could have been different on the ticket. It probably will be going forward and should be.
Geiger is seeking a lawyer and says he's aware of the risks of paying out of pocket for his troubles, but says it's worth it.
The feeling that I had, the up and the down, wasn't pleasant, and I just don't want that to happen to somebody else out there.
Moses Woldu, CTV News, Calgary.
AGLC says the time period to claim a prize is up to the discretion of the licensed charity. Charities can choose a deadline between 48 hours and 30 days for the winner to come forward. All right, it has been a very wet day in Calgary. Danielle's here now. How much more rain is in the forecast?
We still have a decent amount of rain tonight, but then we'll see things really level out tomorrow and just become some isolated and scattered showers. But what I will say about what we're getting right now for us, this is liquid gold in southern Alberta, because off to the north of Olds, there's a weather statement in place for funnel cloud development risk. And even east of Edmonton towards Lloydminster, there's a tornado warning in place. For us in the south, in the areas in green here, so Banff, Canmore, over through Bragg Creek, down through Okotoks and Highway 2, Pincher Creek, Christmas Pass. These are the areas that could see another 20 to 30 millimeters of rain, though, before it's all said and done. 11 degrees right now in the city. That's our afternoon daytime high. Tomorrow we're a little warmer at 16 degrees. We'll see even a couple sunny breaks. And again, about 5 to 10 millimeters of rain possible tonight while we're sleeping, and then another couple millimeters possible throughout the day tomorrow. But it will really start to work its way out for tomorrow, Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. A young family narrowly avoids injury when a scaffold collapses inches away. Debris came crashing down around this mother and baby just seconds after she moved. And it was all caught on video. And we'll journey across Canada with this visitor from New Zealand, what he was surprised to take away from his beautiful journey. That's next. 6 months after the mass shooting in Tumbler Ridge, BC, which left 8 people dead, plus the shooter, we have new details to share with you. CTV News and a consortium of media outlets went to court to fight for more information about the case. RCMP documents highlight a number of new details, including initial police confusion about the number of shooters. That was tied to the various names Jesse Van Rootselaar had been using before and after identifying as a woman. We're also learning the FBI contacted Canadian investigators to alert them about Van Rootselaar's 2 ChatGPT accounts. A production order was sent to OpenAI in which the company was ordered to hand over communication and subscriber information to the RCMP. Since the shooting, OpenAI has apologized for failing to alert police about Van Rootselaar's concerning activity. A BC family already facing a difficult time got another shock this week in Regina. They're there to be at their son's side while he receives some medical care. They found themselves at the center of a very dramatic close call caught on camera. CTV's Chris Wiggins reports.
These few seconds could have changed everything for a family from Squamish. Watch as Claire Johnstone steps into her family's vehicle outside of their downtown Regina hotel on Tuesday afternoon. Moments later, scaffolding and debris come crashing down from more than 10 stories above, right where she was standing.
There's no way it was that close. Like, it was crazy.
But while Johnstone and her family escaped harm, not everyone was as fortunate. 2 men were taken to hospital with what police described as non-life-threatening injuries, and investigators say it appears to be a workplace accident.
I haven't slept the last 2 nights. I don't sleep a lot these days, but the last 2 nights have been a lot of worst-case scenarios, what ifs, what we avoided, how things could have been very different.
In the aftermath, twisted metal, construction materials, and broken tree branches were scattered across the street, and even the collapsed scaffolding ended up lodged in a tree. For Johnstone and her family, the close call was a shocking interruption to an already stressful day. They were heading to the emergency room to seek care for their son.
I fed him, and he immediately projectile vomited bile, and he was very lethargic, and I was like, okay, we're going to the ER. So I was a little frazzled because it's a fine line between feeling like you're paranoid and also feeling like this might be a real emergency that you need to tend to right away.
The good news:
he's doing so much better, and we are all good. It could have been very, very different. We're extremely grateful and feeling very lucky because that was the closest call I ever want to have in my life.
Occupational health and safety officials say the cause of the collapse remains under investigation. CTV News has reached out to the construction company involved for comment, but we did not receive a response by deadline. Chris Wiggins, CTV News, Vancouver.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Let's bring Danielle back in now. So rain now and a little bit more on the way.
Yeah, and we really need this rainfall. It's been so dry in the south. I know, kind of stuck indoors. It's not that best day to be outside. But temperatures are going to slowly start to climb starting tomorrow, and this will work its way out with regards to the rain tomorrow as well. 11 degrees is you could say sad little daytime high for today. Our high was 12, but that was at midnight, but our high in the afternoon was just 11. A normal daytime high in the city for this time of year is 23 degrees. So yes, we are well below normal and will still be below normal for the next couple of days. 13 is the temperature in Lethbridge, 15 in Medicine Hat. As you can see, that colder air has filtered everywhere in southern Alberta, and it will start to slowly climb back up tomorrow. But this is liquid gold, as we can call it, because we really need the rainfall in all communities in southern Alberta. In some isolated areas, there will be some pooling of water already happening in some spots, especially in the rainfall warning areas. So a little too much too fast in some spots. But overall, this is something that we really need, and we're getting just the rain, the good stuff. While up to the north, they're getting that active, more dangerous weather once again. So north of Olds, this is a weather statement in place for funnel cloud development. That's what's possible. And there's even a tornado warning in place east of Edmonton. All right, when we look at Canmore over to Bragg Creek, Okotoks, down Highway 2 towards Claresholm, over to Brooks, and down through Pincher Creek, Crowsnest Pass, these are the areas under the rainfall warning, which means we could see another 20 to 30 millimeters of rain in these communities before it's all said and done. So that's tonight as things start to ease for tomorrow. Calgary and surrounding areas looking at 5 to 10 millimeters likely before it's all said and done. Here's this heavier rain that's tracking through parts of Calgary and down the Trans-Canada right now, and this is pushing to the north. We have another wave on the way for tonight, and that will be another heavy band of of rainfall, and then we'll start to lighten up. So as I fast forward to tomorrow, you can see, yes, some cloud cover, and then just really transitioning to pockets of rainfall. Isolated showers possible throughout the day for tomorrow, which is why tomorrow we're only looking at picking up 1 millimeter or 2 in the city. Saturday will look dry and sunny for the most part, but then because of the instability with the system as it tracks off to the east, we get into the risk of thunderstorms later in the day. All right, here's your action furnace 5-day forecast. 16 degrees is our high for tomorrow, so it's a small improvement there. All right, Saturday, some sunshine with the chance of late day thunderstorms, and by Sunday, it's stable and it's nice, 23 degrees.
Thank you, Danielle. We caught up with our former meteorologist, David Spence, today. He's helping deliver a special message. David is a spokesperson for the Alberta Cancer Foundation, and he helped kick off its lottery today. The foundation is offering over 900 prizes worth more than $4 million. The grand prize winner can choose between a luxury home in Calgary or Edmonton or $2 million in cash. There are also vehicles and vacation packages to be won. Proceeds help fund treatment and research while providing support to patients and their families. As a cancer survivor, David says the support is essential.
The ticket you buy might win you a wonderful house like the one we're in right now. But more importantly, it is going to fund cancer research, and it's going to benefit untold numbers of people in the future. It's going to help the researchers get the work done that is going to provide more time to cancer patients in the future. And that, to me, as someone living well after cancer, that to me is much more important than whether or not I win the house.
You can find out more and buy tickets at albertacancerlottery.ca. It is Miracle Treat Day in Calgary, raising money for the local children's hospital. Patient ambassador Livy helped make treats today. The 10-year-old thought she had a mild cold in December, but after arriving at the Alberta Children's Hospital, they learned she actually had a rare neurological disease and her immune system was attacking her brain. It was the family's second time at ACH after Livy's cousin Holden passed away almost a decade ago.
And it's still a little bit shocking that we had to use it again. The same unit, the same teams, the same faces. But we know what they did for him and what they've done for us, and the research that they do there saves kids' lives every day.
Livy has recovered and is back playing ringette. Proceeds from every blizzard bought across Canada today go to children's hospitals. Dairy Queen has raised over $8 million so far for ACH. A New Zealander has wrapped up a canoe journey across a massive stretch of Canada from Alberta to Quebec. Tom Hudson set out to document his adventure about this country's wilderness, but he found so much more along the way. Here's Jean-Véa Beauchemin.
Along a solo adventure through the Great White North.
What a surreal moment. My first few paddles.
Tom Hudson discovered Canada's landscapes, but postcards of human nature shaped his travels.
Canadians, I tell you what, I freaking love you guys.
Hudson's journey began years before in New Zealand.
I worked in construction, I had a house, I had a mortgage, and one day I woke up with my alarm to go to work, and at that moment it just hit me very, very hard. You're not following your heart. Let's go. I sold everything. I sold my house, I gave all my things away.
And he found joy from the Rockies to the East Coast in the most Canadian way, paddling a canoe.
You hadn't canoed before?
No, never canoed before in my life. I wanted to do something that I've never done, and then I wanted to do it in a big way.
Oh, The wilderness proved majestic but fierce. On the fourth day, he capsized.
Help me!
My whole canoe went down the river. There was nothing I could do about it, and it was just me standing on the bank with nothing, just wet clothes.
And then he met Josh and his family camping nearby.
He's wet, he's cold. Yeah. Let's get him in a dry set of clothes.
And I thought I was going to showcase nature and the landscape and fishing and, but really what I showcased was how incredible the Canadian people are.
Hudson traveled 216 days over a couple of years, chronicling his journey on YouTube to finance his travels. He was running a little low on money, passing through Manitoba, thinking of pausing his journey when he came across Ivy, a 14-year-old lost dog stuck in the mud. He brought Ivy along and found her owner further along the river.
You silly old dog.
Now, that moment captured the hearts of many, drawing followers, and so saving Ivy saved his journey.
Everyone was standing along this wall.
On the 216th day, he paddled into Old Montreal, his destination. He was welcomed by followers, but also by some of the Canadians he'd met along the way. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Great story. Well, these places don't exactly qualify as the prettiest parts of our capital city, but that's the point. We'll take you on a walking tour that's tongue-in-cheek, highlighting all the places that developers have abandoned. And Chicago White Sox fans celebrate one of their most recognizable fans with a special Pope hat game. Members of an Alberta First Nation are celebrating a win in the battle to stop a new data center. The Sturgeon Lake Cree Nation is fighting a provincial water license connected to the proposed center. Members say the provincial government had a duty to consult with them before approving that project just north of Edmonton. Canadian businessman Kevin O'Leary is an investor in the $13 billion Wonder Valley project. The O'Leary Group asked the court to dismiss the case on procedural grounds. A judge rejected that attempt, allowing Sturgeon Lake Cree Nation's judicial review to move forward. In Edmonton, a lot of downtown developments have begun, but that's it. Some residents are wondering when or if the work will ever proceed. Now there is a tour for people who want to visit some of those empty pits. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports.
The Emerald Pit behind us, over there.
It's not the most scenic tour, but one that has captured the attention of these Edmontonians.
It seemed like an absolutely hilarious and fun way to experience a part of our community that, maybe deserves a little bit of attention.
They're visiting downtown pits, places that used to be home to buildings or construction sites that now sit empty. The amount of them sparked the creation of an anonymous Edmonton Pit Tours Instagram account.
Well, I follow the Instagram account, and I just feel like it's some of the best urban commentary we've had in a long time.
The account has become so popular, a downtown guided tour was offered to learn about the city's finest empty lots.
It's a problem that lots of people are noticing, and bringing those two together to show the history and show there's something that can be done about this.
Stephanie Swensrud guided the sold-out 80-person tour. Taproot journalist by day, she's interested in all things urban development.
Make things fun and make pits fun. It doesn't have to be such a serious thing talking about commercial real estate and zoning.
The group has even created an online map and given names to the pits to give them some personality. They include size and history details.
I see them all the time, but I think you just start to accept it as kind of normal if you walk by it every single day.
Some pits even got some special recognition with a little plaque.
Bringing humor and activism together in a way that gets people's attention, but also discusses something kind of serious about our city.
Swensrud says more pit tours are planned for the future. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
It's all aboard at Granary Road. A new train exhibit has opened indoors, and this isn't the end of it. Train enthusiasts are encouraged to jump in with ideas. That's next. People of all ages are fascinated by trains. Large or small, new or old, fans will travel all over to see the cars in action. If that's one of your passions, Granary Road has a new indoor model train exhibit, and you can help it evolve over time. Kevin Fleming explains.
They were in the food court at Granary Road and heard the train whistle blowing. That's when Ethan and Amelia brought their mom over to see the model train exhibit.
This is pretty cool. Yeah, I really like the spaceship in here, and they've done a wonderful job at making them look realistic. Yeah, the only thing that's missing, of course, is the graffiti, but...
The exhibit is big, measuring 5 meters square. Albert Keeler built much of the track and says he's always ready to make some repairs when it expands and stops the flow of electricity.
Oh, it's a palette, if you will. We tend to think of ourselves sometimes as grandiose artistes, but we're really just creating our own little miniature world and trying to have fun doing it, which I think we do. It's a good way to blow off steam, no pun intended.
Leanne Wright is the train project coordinator and says by far the favorite feature of the exhibit is the tunnel, where kids run around to see it go in and come out the other side.
Granary Road is about creating experiences for families, and so trains actually gives that ability for families to be able to interact with their kids, put the phone away, and just do something that's hands-on, tangible, and it's a learning experience.
Don Chahowie and his team were contracted to supply the O-scale locomotives and cars, along with the tracks and scenery. He says Calgary hosts the largest model train show in the world in April, and it's a popular hobby.
There's quite a few clubs and an umbrella organization that actually administers all the clubs and prepares for super trains and some flea markets and what have you. So out of all the provinces, yeah, Alberta's great for model trains.
Granary Road says its train exhibit is a work in progress, and it plans to eventually fill this space with the model train experience. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, south of Calgary.
The hope is that people of all ages and abilities will join train clubs at the park and then work on the exhibit and make it bigger and more intricate. Everybody loves to watch trains.
Yep.
All right, the Chicago White Sox may have hoped for a little divine intervention when they honored one of their most famous fans, Pope Leo.
Call it what you will, everyone is having fun with the type of year this team is having.
Yeah, more than 40,000 Pope hats were distributed to the sellout crowd to celebrate Pope Night. Pope Leo is a native of the Chicago area and a devout fan of the White Sox. A nun was there to throw out the first pitch, and the team presented a check to the local order where the Pope served. Unfortunately, the White Sox could not bless their fans with a win. They lost to the Cincinnati Reds in 10 innings. But 40,000 people went home with a miter, so that's pretty cool.
Kind of just the White Sox way.
Yeah.
How do you not win with all those Pope hats?
I know. Didn't happen. They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, even if it's happening more than 40 years later. He's got the moves. This little guy loves Michael Jackson. He has memorized the choreography to the Thriller dance. Every step, he's got it. He's got the moves. He's got the facial expressions. He's nailing this.
That was me. In fact, I think I had that same jacket.
In 1982?
Yeah.
1982, you guys. That's when that video is from.
Crazy.
Wow.
It took him to do that.
I don't know.
Right? Like, right from a little wee.
Wow. He's a good little dancer.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's the little pleasures in life that make it better, like just doing something nice for those you love. Don't listen to the naysayers. Everybody told these chicken owners, don't go out of your way to make their coop fancy. They're never going to use it. Wrong. They added swings for them, and their feathered friends love it.
I wonder if they get more eggs out of this.
See, maybe they do, because you don't know.
Happier chickens.
Method to the madness, right?
Better eggs. Yeah,
right.
We don't know.
Right.
Still to come, a couple of market milestones today. We'll take a look at the reasons for the big gains on both sides of the border. Stay with us for that.
All right, here's the Skywatch weather camera, and it's a gloomy, cool, rainy day. It's one of those evenings where you just cuddle with a blanket and watch some shows you've been meaning to catch up on. All right, 11 degrees is our current little temperature. 12 was our high. That was at midnight. And 23 was normal for this time of year. The record is 33. So we're nowhere near normal or record breaking, as you know. It's cold out there. We will slowly start to make our temperature rise by tomorrow. But tomorrow we're still in the teens and still well below normal. All right, it's 13 in Lethbridge, 15 in Medicine Hat, 10 in Pincher Creek, and 9 in Banff. We are getting the good stuff, though. I know it's come with colder temperatures, absolutely, but this rain is much, much needed because we have been so dry. We've been at extreme in many communities on that wildfire risk chart. So when you look to the north, they're getting the active weather. So we're getting the rain, that's the good stuff. They're getting the messy stuff. So north of Olds, this is a weather statement in place for the risk of funnel cloud development and tornado warning in place off to the east there. But for us in the south, we have the rainfall warning in place. And this is south of Calgary over to Canmore, Bragg Creek, We're looking at for areas in the warning, another 20, even 30 millimeters of rain before this is all fully said and done. Calgary, we're looking at another 10 to 15 millimeters of rain, most of that falling tonight while we're sleeping. And then we'll pick up maybe another 1 to 2 millimeters tomorrow. Tomorrow just lightens up into isolated showers. That's your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace. Fix right or it's free. A major figure in Calgary's sports community has passed away. Peter Maher was the Calgary Flames radio play-by-play broadcaster for 34 years. He was 79 years old. More than a dozen stormwater ponds across the city are being improved with extra safety measures. That includes one in Legacy where a young girl drowned this summer. Her family has been calling for safety measures to keep kids safe. And a water advisory has been issued for Lake Sundance in Calgary. Blue-green algae has been detected and residents are being urged to stay away. An Edmonton astrophotographer is bringing the furthest reaches of outer space just a little bit closer to home. CTV's Noah Rashog takes us on his journey through the stars.
A lot of people will recognize the 3 stars in Orion's belt there.
Armed with a camera and a telescope, Gabe Sewell's images bring into focus parts of the universe that can't be seen without advanced tools and extensive effort.
If you want to go into the photography side of things, you can get started with just a cheap DSLR and a tripod and some dark skies.
Picking up photography at a young age, Sewell skipped straight to one of its most challenging fields, capturing the cosmos, taking stunning photos of eclipses, planets, as well as distant nebulas.
I like taking photos of emission nebula. They're the very colorful, saturated-looking objects in the night sky.
The further away, the more mysterious, the better.
It inspires me to do better and better and to capture fainter and fainter details and to, push the limits of what I'm capable of, I guess.
This Celestron CPC-11 is pointed at the Orion constellation. For whatever reason, I can't seem to see it. Getting that perfect photo of these heavenly bodies is an art that takes a lot of precision, practice, and patience.
Sewell has to chart the stars to find distant structures. Then he points his telescope at a spot that may at first appear completely dark. He then accounts for the rotation of the Earth, atmospheric interference. Then after hours of exposure, voila.
You're kind of capturing things at the very limit of what cameras are able to see. You're counting photons even sometimes.
Sewell says although he enjoys a challenge, astrophotography isn't that hard to get into. You can start with nothing but a cheap telescope pointed at the moon and his cell phone camera.
Good stuff.
Noah Rashog, CTV News, Edmonton.
A wild ride on Bay Street and Wall Street today with both the TSX and S&P 500 reaching new heights. Here's BNN Bloomberg's Lindsay Biscaya.
The Toronto Exchange managed to close at a record high for a 5th straight trading day today. This morning, the TSX reached a new record high and then further topped that to close the day. The fresh records are being driven largely by a domestic jobs boom, soaring crude oil, and investors piling into big banks and gold. Meanwhile, the S&P clocked its own milestone, hitting an intraday high of 7,816 points. That was fueled by cooling U.S. inflation data and a second wave of adrenaline for the AI infrastructure trade. And here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 71.79. West Texas Intermediate finished the day lower at 81.25 a barrel. Western Canadian Select was also down to 65.54, and the TSX closing at that new record high at 36,759 points. Those are your business headlines. I'm Lindsay Biscaya.
The Ball Hockey Nationals are going on in Calgary right now. Women's and men's teams are facing off in the Jack Cup. Glenn has that story for us next. The Thunder Run water slide at Village Square Leisure Centre is getting a final party, a final farewell party. The slide is being replaced as part of a year-long upgrade at Village Square. Calgary actor Andrew Fung, who says he grew up on the slide, called for social media a final event. So on August 30th, they will be throwing it back to 1994 with retro admission prices, just $4 to get in, a DJ, some 90s decor. You can find all the details on our website. Village Square will close from August 31st to the end of 2027 for those renovations. If you like ball hockey, you may want to head over to the Max Bell Center. Glenn is back with us now, and Glenn, the ball hockey nationals are on.
Tara, the men and women battling it out in several divisions. It's called the Jack Cup, and the hosts in the female A division would love to win the hardware on home soil. Heather Burzens is Calgary United's captain. Her sister Emily is an assistant captain. Emily's 8 years older, and she was the one who got her sister into ball hockey.
We were a skeleton squad. There was maybe 10 of us, and she's really good at ice hockey. So I said, hey, like, join me. Like, let's do this together. And then she was, you know, kind of ball hockey, okay. And then she joined it, and now she's phenomenal. So
Heather's been playing ball hockey since 2016. And she says being on the same team as her sister is a dream come true.
We never got to play together growing up, so it was nice to actually get the chance to compete with her at this level. And anytime we're on the floor, one of us scores, we usually run to each other first because, you know, sisters, family, it means a lot to be able to compete with her.
In this game, United was taking on the Saskatchewan Sabres, and the Calgary squad would come away with a hard-fought 7-4 victory. Ball hockey's come a long way, especially in the female divisions. All of these games at the Nationals are very competitive.
You see different talent every time you come here, and coming from my first Nationals, there wasn't many teams, and now there's lots, and like the competitiveness has just grown so much, and it's amazing to see women's sports thrive like this.
Hosting a national championship is special. It has a lot of meaning to Mackenzie Losberg.
It's huge. I know last year we were in Winnipeg, so obviously we didn't have as much home crowd advantage. And even yesterday you could hear people with signs and yelling, and so it's super cool to be able to play at home. And this is also my midget AAA ice hockey home arena. So it's kind of cool to come back 5 years later and have like a national tournament here and get to play at Max Bell again.
And United improved to a perfect 4-0 today with a thrilling 3-2 victory over New Tecumseh Extreme. United tied the game with 7 seconds left and then won it in overtime. Quarterfinals and semifinals, they go tomorrow. The championship games, they'll be played on Saturday at the Ken Bracco Arena at Max Bell. And one other note in sports, the Stamps, they take on the BC Lions tonight over at McMahon Stadium.
Glenn, we mentioned Miracle Treat Day earlier. You buy a blizzard and all the proceeds go to help the Alberta Children's Hospital. Did you notice Glenn Danielle's the only one who had one delivered to the station?
Right. Well, yeah. It's not just the way it goes.
There's some in the freezer for you.
Okay.
Upstairs. I promise.
Now we know.
And I will say, yes, it's a rainy day, but a blizzard really can brighten up your day.
A blizzard makes everything better.
Right? Even on especially on Miracle Treat Day, which is today. So go buy blizzard because this does help fund. All the proceeds go to Alberta Children's Hospital Foundation, which is obviously a wonderful thing. Okay, so let's quickly talk about this weather. It's still cool tomorrow, 16 degrees, but it's a little warmer than today, so that's a start. A couple millimeters of rain still possible throughout the day tomorrow, but it will be more like isolated showers. Saturday, some sunshine, risk of late day thunderstorms, and Sunday, sunshine, stable, 23 degrees. That'll be nice. Weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate. Laura Jensen, thanks for sending us in from Lethbridge.
Cute photo. Thanks for your company tonight. Have a terrific evening. We'll see you again tomorrow.